Okay, you're good to go.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's 10:03 a.m. on March 17th, 2026. This is a regular meeting of the Kentucky State Board of Elections. I'm Michael Adams, the Secretary of State and Chair of the Board, and I will call us to order. And I'll recognize our members. Member Owens.
Paul Owens, Kenton County member.
Member Ferris.
Eric Ferris, member, Jefferson County.
Member Griggs.
Julie Griggs, member, McCracken County.
Member Skolnick.
Good morning, Corey Skolnick, member, Jefferson County.
Member Brown.
John Brown, member, Jefferson County.
Member Perry.
Sue Carol Perry, member, Shelby County.
Member Brangers.
Deanna Brangers, member, Jefferson County.
Member Sears.
Dwight Sears, member, Pulaski County.
We have a full house. Thanks everybody for joining. I think this will be a short meeting. First, we need to review and approve minutes of our last meeting on February 6th. I hope everyone likes the spiffy redesign. I certainly do. Made it a lot easier to understand. Does anyone have any edits to the draft minutes? If not, we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next, we have acceptance of the executive director's timesheets. Did everyone receive those?
Yes.
Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. So next we have, I believe, 6 new members of county boards of elections that need to be approved and ratified. Karen, can you walk us through these, please?
Happy to do that. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The first one is Bourbon County. Their Republican member has resigned. I believe it was due to health issues. We received all the documentation from the local party, and recommended for ratification is Scott Haupt. I think is how we pronounce that. Would you like me to do them all, Mr. Secretary, and
Sure.
approve them at one time?
Yeah, let's do that.
The second is Clinton County. The Democrat member passed away. Again, we received all the appropriate documentation, and recommended is William David Warrener. Cumberland County, their Republican member resigned to run for office, and recommended for ratification is Becky Ballard. Graves County, the Democrat member has resigned temporarily as her husband is running for office. So recommended there is Janice Jan Shore. And in Harlan County, the Democrat member has resigned, and recommended for ratification there is Robert Lee Miller. Leslie County, the Democrat member there has resigned, and recommended is Timothy Scott Napier. And that concludes the 6 that need approval, ratification.
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
The Leslie County Democratic Committee, there's no name on the certification. We can still go along,
Yes.
can't we?
Yes, and I think this may be the one that the Democrat state party had to help find the list of 5 names, and that sometimes happens. And that it was the state Democrat party helped them locate 5 names
That's why it's blank.
for that
Got it.
replacement.
Okay.
Because they didn't have a local party chair.
Yeah. So let's get a motion to ratify all 6 of these new members? Do we have a motion?
So
moved.
moved.
Moved and
Second.
seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, thank you. Next, we have Rachel Pointer with our financial report for January and February. Hi, Rachel.
Good morning. I just had a couple of transactions that are higher than normal, so I want to just explain those for a minute. But on January, you see a charge for USPS for $44,645.40. That is for postage to fund the permit when we sent out our 8D2 and 8C1 mailers. So that is always going to be a high charge, but I wanted to just address that. And then if you scroll over to February, there is a $12,028.78 charge to KCI, which is Kentucky Correctional Institute. It's a state agency, but they also do printing. And so those are voter registration forms that we send out to the counties. And so that we will probably have more of those transactions the closer we get to the election. All the other expenses are pretty typical. I didn't have any anomalies, unless of course anyone has any questions. I did want to make mention that last week we received notification of our HAVA award for this year. It was much higher than we anticipated that it would be. And so we are, Karen and Richard are going to speak with the secretary and see where we want to go with that as far as how we use those funds.
Can I ask a quick question, Rachel?
Absolutely.
The designation for those funds, is it any different from what we've had the last several years when we get a little pop of money? Are the restrictions?
We looked, Richard and I went through it yesterday, and we don't see any restrictions that are jumping out at us. There is a webinar next week to go over some of those things. And so I plan on attending that to see if maybe there's something we missed, but initially we did not find any additional restrictions.
What's our deadline to submit?
There isn't a deadline to submit for the initial narrative and the certification from your office. They didn't include a deadline, but they have 45 days to disperse the funds. So there will be a deadline to get the budget over to them.
Okay, I'll stay tuned. Thank you.
And that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Any questions for Rachel? If not, could we get a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Rachel, I'll come back to you in just a bit, I think, on the MOA. But thank you. I'm going to turn now to Richard and Taylor on the report of examiners for the equal books.
Right. On last Wednesday, March the 11th, we had the ES&S team in here to do the latest version of their Express Poll, which is their poll book. ES&S's poll book is used in 23 counties in Kentucky. I think that's right. No, excuse me, 19 counties, including Jefferson and Kenton. This update was a lot easier to go through than the last one because we did one in November for them, which was a kind of a big change for them. But this time, this 7.2.0 version introduced a color-coded status messenger for their screen for connectivity. And the biggest thing is it made improvements for their speed and downloads and uploads of data. So I'm sure there will be a lot of people that use that and appreciate that. And then they're going to put a password project together that allows them to issue provisional ballots from the Express Poll. So that's something different. I believe if they get this approved, that they'll be piloting this in. They'll initially go to Jefferson County for the pilot of this version, and they'll use it in the primary if it's approved. And then Kenton County is looking to use their provisional ballot projects in their upcoming election too. So we make a motion.
Well, I just add too real quick that we had the Madison County Clerk and the Laurel County Clerk here. They're both ES&S customers, and they put ES&S through the ringer, you know, and seem to be pretty happy with this release. So signed off on by them as customers, as part of the review staff as well. So yeah, this wasn't the biggest update, so I think it shouldn't be anything that we have to worry about, and would yeah, take a motion.
So our action item is to approve the report. Is there anything else that we have to do? Okay. Can we get a motion to approve the report?
So move.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Karen, did you want to have Rachel talk about the next item?
You're on mute, Karen.
We can tag team it, Rachel. We, if you want to do a little bit of a brief on it. It's related to the certification program that we've talked about, you know, developing. I think at the last meeting, we might have even introduced Elections 101 during my year-end review that we were just about ready to launch, you know, in the spring. Rachel, I'll let you move forward with it if you like.
Okay, so the memorandum of agreement would be through KCTCS and SBE. It would just be a standard contract to solidify the services that have been rendered only pertaining to Elections 101. And I'll be happy to answer any questions about that memorandum of agreement, but I think Karen can provide more context about what that includes.
It's, you know, it's pretty much a standard agreement that the state requires Finance and Administration Cabinet. Rachel's been working closely with them, but in the end, we're doing this retroactive because we didn't understand that KCTCS isn't a state agency where we can, where monies move without a memorandum of agreement. And when we had agreed late in the winter to assist with some of the costs of Election 101, it didn't come to our attention about being they're more of a quasi-agency, that we needed to have this memorandum in place to contribute to the work associated with Elections 101. And that's, I mean, that's on me, but we have not paid them yet. We'll go through the process with Finance and Administration and Government Review. But we just wanted to bring it to the board because it is a memorandum of agreement that that we will need to have our signature on, or I will need to put my signature on. And we always like to bring those in front of the board. The total was, and there wouldn't be any more costs associated with Election 101. This would be the only cost. And I believe, what is it, Rachel? $8,250.
Yes.
And that would be the number. So, but it is associated with the work on Elections 101. I will add that we were able to help KCTCS get some grant dollars to do some of the other classes that we're doing. So, but this one happened to be one that we were going to assist them with.
I can also say that I have had several meetings with KCTCS at the end of last week, and the work has not been completed yet. It's not anticipated to be completed until the end of April. And so we will not be paying them for services until they have completed the project.
Right. So that pretty much concludes the, you know, what we need from the MOA. Any other questions, just let us know.
Did you say we'd be able to see this probably in our May meeting?
Well, in the meeting last time, I introduced what the original Elections 101 looked like. And I think, don't remember if it was you, Eric, or maybe one of the other members, maybe Dwight, said they would like to see the entire class at some point when we are ready to launch it for the clerks for the pilot program.
That would be nice if we could do that.
So that would be our intention to try to do that, but it may not be till early summer.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a quick question. I hope a totally unnecessary one, but I sit on Gateway's board. Should I not vote on this? Taylor?
I'll defer that to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd want out of abundance of caution call, sit out the vote, that's fine. Gateway itself is not really well, in the future, we hope that they will, but this specific MOU is more with the system as a whole, the KCTCS.
I understood that. I just wanted to be clear about it.
Yeah, out of abundance of caution call, that's fine if you'd like to stay.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the MOA?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So I'm going to call ayes, nays, and abstentions. So we have that for the record.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye. Call.
Okay. We'll make a note of that for the minutes. Okay. Thank you. Next, we have Karen with her report.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'll be pretty brief. There's two pieces of legislation that SBE has been watching pretty closely as they pass through the House. One is House Bill 139. That's Representative Decker. It's, again, what we refer to as a continuous election improvement, just making, some further corrections to some of past election legislation. I believe there's, something for the secretary with the filing in that, as well as some of the other little corrections along the way. It has now cleared the House and has been assigned to the Senate State and Local Government Committee. Not sure when a hearing will be on that, but we'll be keeping up with that and can report again in April. House Bill 534 is another bill that was filed by Representative DJ Johnson. That bill has cleared the House and currently in the Senate waiting on an assignment for a committee. And it had several things that SBE and the clerks worked with the bill sponsor. It may still not, I'm not sure if there would be any other changes to the bill, but we can keep you updated as it goes through and what may or may not come finally with the bill as it gets through the Senate. Couple of things, upcoming dates to remember before the primary and before the next board meeting. Monday, March 30th is the deadline for regular and absentee ballots to be printed for the primary. Saturday, April 4th, the absentee request portal will open. Also on that Saturday, April 4th is the last day for county clerks to transmit the military and overseas ballots, absentee ballots, based on requests they received by that day. Monday, April 20th is the last day to register to vote in the primary. And Tuesday, April 24th through Monday, May 25th, the registration books are closed. And of course, the primary is May 19th, Tuesday, May 19th. And then I was going to ask Richard to update our phase 2 GIS project. I believe we tried to update that last time, and Meg is really working through this pretty quickly, doing a very good job. So I'll let you take it over, Richard.
What you see on the screen is phase 2 of our project, as Meg is actually all these counties that are in the green actually have access to a statewide application now that they can go in and actually look up an address and see where the lines are, what precinct it's in, and identify them. So we're working pretty quickly on getting that wrapped up. The brown areas are some counties that we're having some of the GIS folks in that area help do some topography changes, which is just lining them up and making sure you don't have overlaps in the lines or gaps in between the precinct lines. When they zoom down to the inches of a land to be accurate, perfectly accurate. She's working on Breckenridge County right now. That's why that light green. And then Jefferson, we're waiting on a couple little changes to be made from their GIS department, and then they'll be live as well. After this, we do phase 3, where we incorporate the school board boundaries for that, and we hope to have all that in there for the general election. So that works out. So we're moving right along.
Thank you, Richard. This has really been a huge project, and Richard's been the lead with Meg Henderson, our GIS. And I think the counties that have had this phase 2 implemented have been very pleased with how it's worked in their counties. So
we can't say enough about Meg. Meg's been amazing to get through this and help with a lot of other things. So.
And that concludes my report, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for Karen or Richard? Okay, thanks very much. The next item, KCCA, they are not with us today. They are attending to legislation that's being heard that impacts them. So we're going to table that for next time. So as usual, I'm going to jump ahead to other business. Do we have any other business before the board today? If we do not, then we'll just go into our closed session. And when we come out, all we'll do is just adjourn. Okay. So I know we have litigation, just litigation. Okay. All right. Could I get a motion, please, to go into closed session pursuant to KRS 61.810(1)C to discuss pending litigation?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
Aye.
All opposed. Okay, thanks.